Geordie Retro Chasers. You know the drill. What's happening, internet? What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to Geordie Retro Chasers. Alright guys, welcome back to GRC, the channel that's dedicated to toys, movies, books, games, videos, anything from the good old era of the 80s and 90s. Yes guys, we celebrate them 2 decades on this channel because they were the 2 decades that I grew up in, holding some fond memories. So as you can see behind us, we go out there and we look to find some of those old school relics from the 80s and 90s, bring them back here, see how much they've increased in value, show you what you've picked up, and that's what we do here at GRC. Alright guys, we are on a Hunt in the Wild video, so the key is in the name. We've been back out into the fresh air of the northeast of England, looking for those 80s and 90s relics, stuff we can bring back here, show off to you guys, show you if you want to flip or if you want to sell them on eBay, what they potentially could be worth. So without further ado, and as per usual, you know, it's becoming a little bit of a catchphrase of mine, without me shit cracking on, let's get out there, let's have a look, and let's see what we bought this week from the 80s and 90s, and then let's come back here and have a little butchers. Let's go and do this right now. Alright guys, here we are. Finally, a nice mild Sunday. Yes? So here we are on a Sunday, as per usual, at the car boot fair. Let's see if we can find any of those 80s and 90s relics. Sure, it wasn't a picture of the old Raleigh burner. Anyone remember the old Raleigh burner? That would have been sweet. That would have went on the wall. Big shout out, Raleigh. Star Wars trilogy there, guys, complete. Or if you're a 24 fan, oh, the 24s. All of them are snakes. Five on a cheers. 5 on a George Rubber. Sensi Soccer 2006, guys. Right guys, up and running for this morning. Just a couple of cheeky purchases. We'll have a look when we get back to GSHQ. Yes guys, this was my South Park back in the day. Remember how edgy you felt if you found your dad's video? That didn't mean the old funky bones. These were a belter. Absolute belter.
4-2, 4-2, 4-2.
Now, on one of these cassettes, don't think it's this one, there is a tune called Life is a Lemon and I Want My Money Back. What big shout out, Meatloaf. Rest in peace, my good man. Rest in peace. What have we got in here? Masters of House. Yep, definitely agreed. They are the Masters of House. It's connected. Wasn't me. Just always check these guys in case there's a couple of little cheeky PS1 games in there, but there isn't. Guys, there is. Red loader. Pokemon. Anyone recognise these guys? It's a free comic book though. Dated 2011. I recognise that. Well, some old new stock here. What the fuck is that? That's a digital camera. It's different. Nice. Sorry, darling.
Sure, I'll take this. All right, so you know where he's. Thank you.
How much are your games, Pet?
Which ones? Sorry. I don't know what. How each.
Pound each. Thank you. Probably do with these guys right now. Send these out to see the Putin. He'd look after married. Yes, lads.
Your name will also go on the list. What is it?
Don't tell him, Pike.
Pike.
As if, man. Wonder if there's anything here for me again, guys. Oh, let's have a quick scan of this. Oh, a little bit different, guys, isn't it? What's your Scoobies in here?
£3 each.
Any date on them. Nice piece though. Nice to look at. And there's good old Ruby Doo. How much are these ones, mate?
For one, the other one's just two.
Okay, mate.
When you got me with that, mate. Right, yes. These are what you're going to watch for the time. No, just going straight away. Are you joking?
He's an original one.
Very good to use.
Yeah, I'll have them for £3. You want to talk about retro for it? Now that is retro. Anyone else used to have one of these phones on my kids? I know I did. A bright red one, just like the bat phone. Yes, boyos. Now that is old school. Guys, got some more games here, priced individually. Absolutely stinking when they're priced individually. £23 for a FIFA from 2010. Have a nice day, my friend. Have you still got? I tell you what, I was going to get off you and I came out. I think it was gone. You had the house for the Ghostbusters in a massive bag with the van still. You still got it? Got here. David Lynch. Battlefield. Modern Warfare 3. What's the Ulysses here? Oh. Quite an expensive manual actually. What here? Assassin's Creed, GTA. A little bit. Oh, classic VHS guys. Now I know someone in one of the groups has just been collecting old school VHS. I literally see hundreds of them at the car booth fair and I tend to pass them up. Let me see it. There's a classic. There's a classic. Shoker about classics. Big shout out to the old VHS. There's some classics in here, guys. What's your favourite film? Let me know in the comments below. Look at that. Let's see how much the chap has on this fella. Unbelievable. Lil, where are you? I know we're gonna go find Mama in a minute. We're just looking at some of these, okay? Piece of local history there for you guys. Stay there, Bob. Oh, guys. There are not many books that made me squirm, and I mean squirm, but if you've never read this, it will make you squirm. Never seen the movie, but the book, wow. The book is off the Richter scale. Roads, Where we're going, we don't need roads.
I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
Well, that is old school, guys. Look at that. Gotta be the 70s. Look. Alright guys, I think we'll do one more lap, have a little look-see around before it opens properly, see if there's out else I've missed. Alright, let's keep going. Talk about an absolute classic, guys. Honestly, I would love to collect old school VHS properly, but I just got no room to put them. Alrighty then. Alright guys, anyone remember these? When is this dated?
Do you smoke? Mind if I do?
The guns in the battery cover. If I need some controllers, guys, this is definitely the place to come. That's something a little bit different, guys. You're a Sega collector. Clearly a PC game, but date on it. Not dated, but that's a cool piece of it. He looks pretty old school, guys. He would look nice on our Warner Brothers shop. Is he dated? Yes, he is. 1999. Interesting. How much a pencil case? Another classic from the 90s, guys. The Batman Adventure Annual, dated 1996. I'm trying to keep away from these annuals. You know, I'm starting to fill up pretty quickly on them, but yeah, nice piece for 1996. Not bad for a quid. Alright guys, the man who dominated my childhood. Alright guys, here's a big shout out to you. Let me know in the comments, were you a Steven Seagal man or were you a Jean-Claude Van Damme man? Just look at the films in here. The top 3 of the absolute film. What a film that is, guys. Anyone else a Martin Lawrence fan or a Def Jam comedy? Big shout out Big Mama's House. What a film. Literally just as I was about to come across one more. That games, let's have a look what's in there. By 2004. The sealed Willy Wonka. Battlefield Shrek. Battlefield. The Championships. Just pretty much fodder in there, guys, not a worry. Alright guys, that's pretty much us done now at the car boot fair. So we're gonna go grab some lunch and then we're gonna go pick up another retro bundle. Oh, let's have a look. Welcome back everyone, welcome back. So, I hope you guys enjoyed being out in the wild as much as we did. It's lush just to get out there, get some fresh air, more importantly, have a look at some of the relics, see if we can bring anything back. So without further ado, let's get into this week's pickups from the boot fair. And as per usual, we will start with what I class as the knick-knacky bits. Now, what's classed as a knick-knack? A knick-knacky bit is something we've paid a little bit more than 50 pence for, so about 50 pence to £2 items. So let's have a look at what was in the knick-knacks this week. Kicking us off with this third-party PS2 pad, and of course it is official licensed Simpsons merchandise. Yes, it is missing its 2 little rubber bits from the analog. Or let me know in the comments, did it come with the little rubber bits? Am I into collecting third-party pads? Absolutely not. Am I into collecting Simpson memorabilia? 100%. So, for the sake of £1, we've tested him, he works. A third-party Simpsons pad for the PlayStation 2 to kick us off. Then big shout out Mrs. GRC, who picked up an E Honda officially licensed Street Fighter 2 plushie. We have a whole load of plushies down here. One we don't have is a Honda, so welcome to the family. And then let's move on to the disc-based format games that we bought from the boot fair this week. So, generally when I pick up disc-based games, they are to flip on eBay. To be honest with you, the ones we picked up this week, some of them are going to find their way into my collection, and some of them might either find their way onto eBay, or will certainly find themselves in a tub when it comes to one of the retro fairs we'll be visiting over the next few months. And just on that note, a little bit more about that. At the end of the show, I'll go through some of the details where you can find us as retailers at some of the fairs, because the first one is in around about 8 weeks, but I'll cover that off at the end of this episode. Alright, kicking us off with the pound games we picked up this week was SpongeBob SquarePants and the Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. Am I a SpongeBob fan? Probably not. Is Junior GRC a massive SpongeBob fan? Absolutely. And is it worth just sticking in there for the sake of a quid? Kicking us off was SpongeBob SquarePants Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. Nice. Then the second PS2 game we picked up, in fact, I actually, for the first time in my boot fair career, I ran this through the CEX app. So not bad for a quid. And of course it is the Backyard Wrestling. Don't try this at home. Again, if you're familiar with this, let me know in the comments. I do know there is a volume 2, but nice one for the collection. Yes, I'm a big PS2 fan. Yes, I'm a big PS2 collector. And I do love the wrestling. Hide it all in there. Happy days. Then we picked up 2 original Xbox games. I don't collect for the Xbox, but they were £1 each, so these will probably either find their way onto eBay or certainly onto the table for one of the fairs. And those 2 games were Burnout Takedown 3, and of course, as you'll see in the footage, Sensi Soccer 2006. Looking at the back, it looks absolutely nothing like the Sensi Soccer that I grew up on, based on the Amiga. But for the sake of £2, we thought we'll pick them up, we'll hide them in there. Let's add them, let's resell them. So for £2, Burnout Takedown 3 and Sensi Soccer 2006 came home with a GRC. And guys, we picked up something that I actually thought was an original Transformer, so big shout out Darren. Actually, Darren doesn't just sell pub stuff, he just sells loads of vintage and retro stuff. And he had this on his booth, and it was a 1985 Powertron. Now, I'm led to believe this is modelled off the kit car coming from Knight Rider. There we can see he's fully opened up, and you know, I think Darren wanted £3 for him. I honestly thought he was an original Transformer, but he's not. He is dated 1985, as I've just said, and he's a Powertron. And looking at a little bit of research on him, I'm led to believe he was modelled off the car kit, which you know we love. So big shout out Darren, big shout out Kit, big shout out Powertrons. Thank you very much. The first, hopefully, of many.
Powertrons, they're alive.
Powertrons, each sold separately by Ertl.
And then the boot fair pickup of the week is the good old WrestleMania moment. And of course, it is Macho Man Randy Savage. Yes, he has been opened, so he is ever slightly devalued. Yes, he is a little bit loose inside of his box. But with a little bit of TLC from myself and Mrs. GRC, we will get him put back in his box, get this top sealed up with some glue so it looks as good as new. Yeah, he wasn't one of the cheaper items from the buffet. He did cost me a tenner, but looking on the eBay sold listings, he probably retails for, what, around about £15. So if you have a little look-see now at what he would retail for, about £15. So we did get ourselves a pretty decent deal on the good old Macho Man Randy Savage WrestleMania moment figurine from Mattel for the boot fair pickup of the week. Sweeta. Right guys, we're nearly there. We're pretty much at the end. I'm going to do a couple of little shout outs at the end for people who matter. But let's have a look at our last pickup. Our last pickup was a Facebook Marketplace pickup. Now these cost me about £40, give or take. I think it might have been 35, 40 quid because I kept adding to it when I got there. And the lady had an absolute abundance of 90s figures. So let's quickly fly through and see what we got out of this bag. Alright guys, we got a Hacksaw Jim Duggan, we got a personalised Warrior, we got a Macho Man Randy Savage, that makes 2, and we actually need him, so he will sit on the shelf behind. We got a good old Hulk Hogan, have absolutely no idea what his name is, can't remember, and my actual poster that Lynchburg Collectibles gave me is actually where getting framed. But guys, this is where I really need some help, because I do not recognise this guy. Is he a Hasbro? Is he from the WWF? Let me know. Who the hell is this? He looks a little bit like a cross between the Terminator and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Let me know in the comments who the hell this dude is. And again, let me know in the comments who this fella is, but we need both of them. Then we got an animal from the Legion of Doom who's a duplicate. Again, guys, is this guy's from Hasbro? Is he a WWF figure? Who the effing hell is that? We picked up, I'm sure it's a Tomahawk. I'm pretty sure, but I'm not sure. But I know we have him. Then we have my favourite wrestler from back in the day, the Warrior. Another one that needs for the shelf, Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, in the black suit, not the green suit that we picked up off Lynchburg Collectibles. And last but not least, Ray from the real Ghostbusters. So big shout out to Claire for hooking me up on Facebook Marketplace for around about, I think it was about 35 to 40 quid, which would have been for about 12 figures. So if we break that down, it's less than a fiver each. Happy days! Before I go and before I let you go, there is 4 people that I want to give a massive shout out to. The first one is Mick and Tansy, who are led to believe are weekly viewers. I was asked to give you a shout out, of course, from good old Jackie Wilson. So big shout out to the boyos. The last shout out I want to give is to a big shout out to Jack and Sam. These were the guys who we seen at the Toy Fair a couple of weeks ago. I did try and take some footage. You know, I did try and give you a big shout out. Believe it or not, my phone wasn't recording. So I do apologise to the young man. But of course, obviously, we had a great conversation. And the information that you told me, I am so excited for. So big shout out to you and 80. Honestly, you will have my 100% backing. And I cannot wait to get my teeth stuck into what we were chatting about. So big shout out to all the lads. Thank you very much. Honestly, it's such a pleasure when people stop me walking around car boot fairs. So we recognise you from YouTube. Hope you found something decent. It's just a mad bit of a surreal feeling. So cheers, lads. All right, guys, that's it. We are done for another week. Not the greatest of pickups, you know. If you look at the last few videos from this season, we've sort of had one miss, one hit, one miss, one hit, one miss. You know, so we do have to take the rough with the smooth. It is what it is. Just before we wrap this up, there's one last thing I need to mention. And that is the Nerdfest 2022. Nerdfest is a local festival which is dedicated to everything we love on this channel. So, movies, books, videos, games, you name it, will be all under this one roof when it comes to April 17th, 2022. You'll find the Geordie Retro Chasers will have a booth here. They will be selling bits and bobs. So all the stuff that we collect throughout these videos, this is the convention I mentioned earlier on where they'll be on the table. So you can get your tickets via the Facebook group. So please just search Nerdfest or go to Northeast Retro Den. Or of course you can go to Eventbrite and you can buy tickets there. Or we'll see you on the day. So that date for your diary is the 17th of April 2022. It is open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Tickets are priced reasonably cheap. So adults is £8, under 12s is £6. And of course, under 5s go absolutely free. So do me a favour, come and have a look. Come and see us. Buy me a pint because there will be a fully licensed bar because it is at the Steamer Shop Boiler in Newcastle. So please, come and see us at the Nerdfest. And of course, you know, on the day there is fundraising for Cash for Kids, competitions, giveaways, video game competitions, cosplay competitions, and of course a whole host of vendors selling all that 80s and 90s retro goodness. So big up Michael and all the lads from Northeast Retro Den. You know I give them any amount of love on this channel. But do me a favour, if you love what I do and you love what this channel does and you're into your 80s and 90s gear, go and have a deeks. Have a look. If you're a native Northeast now, we cried out for stuff like this for absolutely ages. And here they are. I've been a participant of this for probably the last 2 or 3 years. And the event is getting stronger and stronger and stronger every year we have it on. We had such a ball at the last one. So please, do me a favour. Go and get some tickets. And we'll all see you at Nerdfest on April the 17th, 2022. Boom! Right, guys, we're done for another week. Shout-outs done, pickups done, boot fairs done, Nerdfest done. Have yourselves a wicked week from myself, Mr. GRC, Mrs. GRC, and of course, Junior GRC. Big up yourselves. Thanks for making it this far. We'll see you all next week on the flip side. Peace!